I'm Christian Staples with Arctic Spas. I'll review the Onzen Saltwater instructions with you for our Classic and our Core Series spas. If you have our Spa Boy Saltwater System, you will not want to use these instructions. Instead, refer to the Spa Boy Saltwater instructions video. I'll put a link in the description for this video. We will begin with the startup of fresh water after a drain and refill. As soon as you turn on the breaker after finishing filling the spa, you'll want to do these two steps. First, we want to test and adjust the pH. Take your test strip, dip it in the water, and compare it to the back of the bottle. We want the pH to be between 7.2 and 7.6. If the pH is at 7.5, add a half a cap of the adjust down to lower it back down to the bottom of that OK range. This will give us a larger buffer before we go too high, as we know the pH will drift upward. If it is at 7.8 or higher, you'll want to add a full capful. If the pH was high, you can check it again the next day to make sure it is back in the OK range. The next step is to add the appropriate amount of salt to your Arctic spa. For a 7-foot spas or under, you will want to add one 4.4-pound bucket. For 8-foot spas, including the Orion and the Lunar, you'll want to add 1.5 of the 4.4-pound buckets. Just broadcast the entire amount needed across the surface of the water. You'll notice that some will settle at the bottom of the spa, but this is normal. It will dissolve by the time the water is back to hot when you go to use it. Now, every week, and it will be better if you make this a consistent day, such as every Saturday, you'll want to test and adjust the pH. If the pH is at 7.5, add a half a capful of the adjust down. If it is at 7.8 or higher, add one full cap of the adjust down. If your pH is high, you can recheck it again the next day. We want to give it time to dissolve and stabilize. With the test strips, you can also measure the sanitizer that appears as chlorine on the test strips. We want to keep a level between 1 and 3. We adjust this by adjusting the time that it runs through the control panel. Typically, you won't have to adjust this setting often, but it will need to be changed as your usage changes. If it is below 1, we want to have it run for a couple of more hours. If it is above 3, we want to have it run for a couple of hours less. To make these changes, there are 3 settings. First, the Onzen start time, which we pretty much will just ignore. Then the Onzen duration, which is the number of hours per cycle, and the Onzen frequency, which is the number of cycles per day. We have 3 different topside control panels, so here are the instructions for each one. On the Classic series, you start by pressing the Settings button. Use the up and down arrows to navigate to the Onzen menu, and then press the light key to enter the menu. You will use the light key to move forward through the menu and the pump key to go back. The plus and minus keys will adjust the numbers up and down. You will have 3 settings: the start time, which we will ignore, the duration of each cycle, and the frequency, or the number of cycles per day. Typically, you just raise the duration if the level is below 1 on the test strip, and then lower it if it is above 3. Once you are done, press the pump 1 key to exit. If you have the Core series, press the light key for about 5 seconds to display the setting, then press the light key again until you see OD, and then 2 numbers. This is the Onzen duration. Use the arrow key to adjust this number up or down as needed based on your test strip reading. Press the light again for OF, and then 2 numbers. Once you are done, press the light key until you are out of the settings menu. If you have the touch screen, you'll want to touch the settings button, access the Onzen settings, and adjust the duration up or down as needed. On a monthly basis, you'll want to add a dosage of the Just Blue to help the salt cell stay clean, as well as help the salt system work better. For 7-foot spas, add 100 milliliters, and for 8-foot spas, add 130 milliliters. Quarterly, you'll want to test the amount of salt in the water with the salt test strips with the yellow lid. We aim to have approximately 2,500 parts per million of salt in the water. Put the test strip in about 1 inch of water, allow the yellow line to turn black. This typically takes around 10 minutes. Then the center brown column will fade. At the top of this fade, you'll find the corresponding number. Take this number and see the corresponding parts per million amount on the back of the bottle. If the salt level is low, about 1/4 of a 4.4-pound bucket of salt will raise it about 500 parts per million. So if it was around 2,000, you would want to add 1/4 of the bucket to get it back to where it needs to be. You also want to replace the filters at this time. Clean and protect the cover with Cover and Cabinet Renew. Once a year, you'll want to drain and refill the spa, as well as replace the salt cell. This is an entire year of maintenance, all wrapped up in one video. For more help and information, you can check out our support and FAQ page at arcticspastore.com/support. Send us an email at support@arcticspastore.com or give us a call at 801-483-1001. Find everything you need for your Arctic spa with the convenience of free home delivery at arcticspastore.com.